Hi, this is Wiz. Welcome to my channel. When we talk about electric vehicles, I do believe that Tesla still has an advantage in terms of range, supercharger infrastructures and user interface. But I do firmly believe that Volkswagen is the new Tesla. Volkswagen is working since a couple of years now on developing their electric vehicles. They already come out with the ID.4 last year, and this year we finally got the SUV, the ID.4. So this is the Volkswagen ID.4 in its first edition execution. Let's first talk about the exterior. I quite like the design. It is very sleek, it is very modern, and yet it is very Volkswagen. You cannot mistake this car with another brand. This is a Volkswagen. The ID.4 has a single motor in the rear, so it's a rear-wheel drive. The dual-motor all-wheel drives is coming later this year. This one has a 77 kilowatt usable battery, 204 horsepower, 310 newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 8.5 seconds. It may seem very slow, but as we're gonna see it later when we're gonna drive it, being an electric car, it's quite snappy and it's plenty enough. We've got a very clean design in the front with the new Volkswagen logo. Integrated is the front-facing camera. And I like how you have an LED strip that goes all from one headlight to the other one. A very reduced air vent, as you don't really need that much on an EV. Those are the Matrix LED headlights. Again, very clean, minimalistic design. Obviously, there is no engine into the ID.4, so the hood is very short. And we are gonna see a little bit later that there is something a little bit disappointing about it. This ID.4 sits on the optional 21-inch wheels. Front tire are 235/45. Rear tires are bigger, 255/40. Standard choice is the 19-inch, and then you can have 20 and 21 like this one. Moving on the side, we notice the very massive rear view mirrors, but they are very well integrated. I like how sculpted the side of the ID.4 is, and specifically I like this wave line here on the front fender and the same on the rear one. So those are again very clean lines, very aerodynamic lines, and I believe very pleasant lines What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Some black hard plastic all over the lower part of the body, but I think it makes sense on a SUV. Door handles are very flush to the body for aerodynamic purposes, and you open this way. Here is how you lock the car. Again, very clean lines. I like how the rear spoiler is very well integrated with the rest of the body, again for aerodynamic purposes. 3D LED lights, I believe those are optionals, but they're very, very good looking. And the same as the front, you got a LED strip going from one taillight to the other. Here is a look at the front turning signals. And the rear one that are dynamic or cascading, as someone says. The charging port, as usual, you can go Type 2 or CCS. In this version, you can charge up to 11 kilowatts. On CCS, you can charge up to 125 kilowatts. And moving on the back, again, very clean and aerodynamic lines. Let's now have a look at the trunk or boot. Electrically activated, of course. It's quite big, quite roomy. Some little storage space over here. Let's have a look at the charging cable. So you can remove this part here and you gain a little extra space if you need. A little bit disappointing are two things over here. So first of all, you have no hydraulic struts here. You have to do it the old way manually. Let's try to do this. There you go. And then second, despite the lack of front engine, you have no frunk here. You have no storage space, nothing. I would have liked to have a plastic cover. Let's move now into the cabin of the ID.4. So let's start with the door panel. You got here some not so hard plastics, here some a little bit harder plastics, and here some leather-like material. I don't particularly like this piano gloss black finish, and you find it a little bit all over the cabin. It's a fingerprint magnet, but it is what it is. Same as the ID.3, you only got two buttons for the windows. You choose the rear one by pressing here, and then you can command the rear one, otherwise you command the front one. Some decent storage space. Moving on into the cabin, you got in this first edition the complete electric seats with massage functions and memory 1 and 2. Those are the comfort seats. Optional, you have the sport seats with integrated headrest. Soft haptic touch commands for the lights. And I really like this like pause and go for the brake and the throttle. As you can see, the central console is floating here. Let's step inside. So you get this quite small 5.5-inch driver screen, and then this is the optional 12-inch central screen. Take that as an example, Audi. We still have 10-inch in every Audi with the exception of the upcoming Q4, which is gonna be 11. Wow! I wish I could have a bigger screen like that on my e-tron. Moving on the central console, you got two cup holders that you can remove, and then you get some storage. Fun enough, you have two armrests for the driver and the passenger. Here some more storage. You can remove those. It is quite Tesla-like, same as the Model S. Two USB-C, and this is the wireless charger for your phone. This is a legacy remain, I would say. You got a start and stop engine. So why engine? There is no engine in the ID.4. There is a motor, actually. And you don't even need it, because as soon as you press the brake pedal, the car turns on. So you can choose to turn it on or off this way, or Tesla-like by just pressing the brake pedal. Haptic buttons on the steering wheel. You can click them and you hear the click, or like in case of the volume here, you can just slide left and right. This view button, you can change the layout here on the small screen, but there is not so much you can do actually. It is very restricted what you can change, talking about the layout of the screen, because everything happens here. As you can see, CarPlay is available. It's wireless CarPlay actually. But let's start with the Volkswagen menu. It does require a little learning curve, but once you understand how it works, it's quite easy. You got large icons where you can select and modify everything. I like the animations here. It is very complete. You can do much more than on the Audi MMI, for example. I like the augmented reality on the head-up display. I'm not sure you can see it there, but when you use the navigation, for example, you got some arrows that are showing you the direction. This is quite cool. So car is actually charged at 87%, and I've got 340 kilometers of range left. When I unplugged it yesterday evening, it was fully charged 100% and I had 415 kilometers. The WTP range is around 490, I believe. It lags a little bit, but I believe it's gonna be a software update, because you have to know that the Volkswagen ID.3 and the ID.4 are able to receive over-the-air software updates. And then CarPlay, well, CarPlay is CarPlay. It works as intended. But as you can see, the interface is a little bit laggy. Moving on, again, some soft touch commands here. Whether you like it or not, I mean, you first need to understand how to use that. If you just slide frantically like that, it's not gonna work as intended, but you can just press like that and you get the result you want. But it is unfortunate that those commands are not illuminated, so when you are driving at night, it's quite difficult to quickly go and raise the volume up or down or change the temperature. Same as the ID.3, you get the function to drive the car here, and I do like the execution actually. So you press forward to drive the car. You got two modes, the normal drive mode or the regenerative braking one. You go once for neutral and then like this for reverse. The parking is here, and as you can see, when you go on reverse, you got the complete 360 degrees camera, quite big. Other than that, and same as the exterior of the ID.4, the cabin is very modern, very clean, very minimalistic, I would say. I quite like it. Let's now check the rear places of the ID.4. So as you can see, plenty of space. Of course, there's no central tunnel, so it's quite comfortable. I like the execution of this specific part here. It doesn't go vertically like most of the cars. It gives a little bit more space. And let's step inside. So the driver's seat is on my position. I'm 172 centimeters. And as you can see, plenty of legroom. Plenty of headroom, so there are really no issues whatsoever. The cabin of the ID.4 is plenty enough for, I would say, a family of 4 persons. And you get a lot of lights into the cabin, also thanks to the panoramic roof, glass roof. Actually, a curiosity, I wonder why only EV cars got panoramic roof like this. Can somebody tell me in the comment why gasoline or diesel cars doesn't get this? I can really easily move from one place to the other. Plenty of space again. 2 USB-C ports in the back, 2 in the front. And in this version, you can command the climate on the back seats as well. That's a very nice place to be on the back of the Volkswagen ID.4. What do you think about it? Do you like the style? Do you like the design of it? I personally like it quite a lot. It is very sleek, very modern, very dynamic, very minimalistic. Same as the ID.3, but yet it is instantly recognizable as a Volkswagen. Let me know what you think in the comments below.